Today we'd like to speak about the ideal energy mix. There are many renewable energy projects that are still being built, and so has anyone really gotten to a stage where they've gotten to their ideal energy mix and where it's not going to fundamentally or significantly change in the future? We aren't. Even the first world countries who are riding this wave a lot earlier than everyone else with regards to changing how energy is produced, they are still building and regulating and changing how they do things on a bi-yearly basis. It is a difficult question to answer. However, what we can do is look at countries who are leading the charge with regards to mixing up these energy sources and see what is working for them and what isn't working for them. We've decided to look at sort of four main players to understand a better benchmark of what the big players are doing, and compare that to where we are now with South Africa. It can be quite substantially different, especially when we're comparing first world countries to developing countries. Inevitably, developing countries place far more reliance in more conventional methods of power generation, being coal and oil. And so when we take a small sample size we've decided to look at South Africa, France, Germany, and the United States. Now, United States, Germany, and France are of course developed nations. They have been looking at expanding renewable energy and at other different energy sources for a number of years over most developing countries. And so you see a bit more of a mature market in that sense. A clear example is the fact that South Africa pretty much holds almost 90%, 85 to 90% now on fossil fuels. And the rest through alternate power sources, including renewable. If you look at another country like France, we'll see them almost at 48% on fossil fuel reliance. And so we can see quite a large shift there. Now, a third category that we would put into here is nuclear. Now, nuclear is extremely interesting because it has die-hard fans and it has die-hard haters. And we look at a country like France, or countries like France and Sweden, where they're getting 20 to 35% of their power from nuclear. You have a lot of experts in the field saying that maybe the best is to get anywhere between 50 and 100% from nuclear sources. Proponents of nuclear will say that it is the cleanest and the most environmentally friendly, the most cost effective. And obviously we have seen how things cannot work out. And of course it's a percentages game. But we might start seeing a sort of resurgence of nuclear energy going forward. When we look at the renewable energy sources, we still see a far less power generation coming out of these sources. Plants are still being built, technology is still being made as efficient as possible. And so we have this case where, as much as renewable energy is the talk of everyone, we look at someone like United States and they're still only getting plus or minus 2% out of solar for their power generation, 4.5% for wind. We see better stats in Germany, where we've got almost 12% of their energy coming from wind sources. We've got almost 6% coming from solar. When we look at Germany's future plan, they're wanting to get 80% of their energy mix from renewable sources by 2030 and 100% by 2035. That is extremely ambitious, and we will see how well they're able to do it. And it's going to be interesting to see how they may resist or embrace the potential future of nuclear energy as well. Something that stands apart from Germany and other countries like Sweden, France, and the USA is the lack of enthusiasm for creating any nuclear power plants. And to conclude, the jury is still out on what is the best energy mix to have. Of course, we understand that baseload requirements are extremely important, and it is important to have a mix of intermittent power or volatile power as well as consistent power, and combine these to have variable and non-variable sources so that the infrastructure we create to transport that electricity is not overburdened. And so as much as we talk about creating a perfect mix, there are many factors that can change an individual country's reliance or enthusiasm to take on a different chunk of either fossil fuels, renewable energy, or even nuclear.